Alright guys, good morning. So I'm making this video to show you guys why this setup is playing out. Why this setup is playing out and how I caught this setup. Although I missed the trade actually. I missed the trade, but I'm still looking out for something. So this was how I caught this trade. You know, VIX volatility 100S is on a buy. Volatility 100S is an uptrend. It's a major and massive uptrend, and as you can see here, I've marked out my buy POYs, waiting for the market to tap into any of these and give me my confirmation in any of these POY before I can take my buy. So since the market is on an uptrend, this area here, this coming, this area here, that is my premium zone. Where this POI is my discount zone. So this area is my premium zone. And remember the rule: sell from premium zone and buy from discount zone. So since the market is in my premium zone, what am I looking for? I'm looking for sales in my premium zone, short sales from my premium zone, because I am going against the trend. I only look for long sales if the trend is a downtrend, but since I'm going against the trend, I will just look for short sales where I will just enter my trade and my TP is going to be close. So this is the premium zone, and I look out for my setup there, for my sell setup. So in the 4-hour time frame, I've already seen my sell setup in the 4-hour time frame. I've already seen my sell setup in the 4-hour time frame. Let me clean this out. Huh? So in the 4-hour time frame, I've already seen my sell setup right here. Right here is my sweep of liquidity. This is my sweep of liquidity, because that's my setup. That's what I look for first in the market before I mark out my POI. This is my sweep of liquidity, and this is my transactional liquidity. Yes, this is my transactional liquidity, my sweep of liquidity here, and most importantly, my structural liquidity. Most importantly, my structural liquidity here is my structural liquidity. This high, this first high before the market pulls down, that is my structural liquidity. And now, after marking out all those things, I will now come to look for my POY. I'll look for my POY. So in the 4-hour time frame, this bearish candle there is my POY. As you can see, the market has tapped into my 4-hour time frame POY. But for me to get my sniper entry so that my risk is going to be low, I'm going to have a low risk. I scale down to the 5 minutes time frame. To get my sniper entry POY. So as you can see right here, I see that structural liquidity. I'm amending my structural liquidity. So right here inside the 5 minutes time frame, I have seen another structure again. What structure have I seen? I've seen my sweep of liquidity again. You can see that here, sweep of liquidity again, and we can see what transactional liquidity here again. We can see that, and also my structural liquidity. Here's my structural liquidity. So with that in mind, and right here, my POY is this last bullish candle here. This is my POY. This last bullish candle is my POY. This last bullish candle before they move to the downside. This last bullish candle here is also my POY. And this other last bullish candle here is my POY. So anyone can be marked. So I choose to mark this other one here, this last bullish candle here, before they push to the downside. So after marking out my POY in the 5 minutes time frame, my sniper entry, and I'll go back to the 4-hour time frame. You can see this. The market tapped exactly into the 5 minutes time frame POY. And so for me to get my entry, I still scale down to the 5 minutes time frame for me to get my entry. Let me clean the 4-hour time frame POY. So this is, in my entry, my confirmation, I do wait for internal structures. Yes, I do wait for internal structures. That is a change of character or a break of structure that is going to tell me that the market, the trend is about to change, that sellers or buyers are going to enter into the market. So what happened? At first, the market nearly tapped the POY at this level. We can see it nearly tapped, but it didn't tap. So the market later retraced back. That is why it's always good to wait for confirmation, because if at all I checked and I rushed and entered, oh, the market is about to tap, strength has entered, is now selling off, the market would have taken me out, because what happened, it later reversed into the POI. And after reversing into the POI, what did it give me? First, it gave me my internal liquidity sweep. That is internal liquidity sweep. And after that, it now gave me my change of character. This low got swept. And after this low got swept, I now mark that as my entry point. This last bearish candle here, I mark it as my entry point. And what happened? What did you see? The market tapped into it, and that was the sell. We can see the strong bearish movement. This here was my entry. This here would have been my entry. If at all I caught this trade, this would have been my entry point. This bearish, strong last bearish candlestick here, that would have been my entry point, and I would have caught that sell from there. So I missed the trade, but this was how this trade played out. This was how the trade played out. And so right now I am looking out for something else. Although I missed the trade, but I'm not sure I have missed everything. I'm looking out for something else. What am I looking out for? We can see here my sweep of liquidity. This is my sweep of liquidity here, and that's my sweep of liquidity. And we can see here, this is my transactional liquidity. You can see that that's my transactional liquidity, and right here we have seen my structural liquidity here. This is my structural liquidity here. So in the 5 minutes time frame, the market has printed out another setup for me. It has printed out another sell setup for me. So what else am I now looking for? I mark here as my POI. This last bullish candle before the bearish momentum to the downside, that is my POI. So what am I looking out for? I'm waiting for the market to tap into this POI. When it taps into that POI, it gives me my internal structure confirmation, then I will now take the trade down there. So guys, that's what I'm looking at, and I've also explained why that trade played out. So you can also mark this on your chart as well. Let us catch this trade together. Good luck guys, and have a nice day.